We're really excited to see some new faces. I saw an old face today, not that she's old, but a friend of mine that I haven't seen in several years. I was walking in the door and I was really happy to see her. I am the moderator for Sunday Assembly, and you saw a cake up there. There's been this cake. So can we look at that cake again? This is our first anniversary. We have done 12 assemblies, and this was the first. We started in January of last year after, because a lot of you are new, after 4 of us went to a conference on wonder in Atlanta and found out more about Sunday Assembly, came home and said, heck, let's do it. And so we're doing it, and this is phenomenal. We love this. So anyway, we always have music, and we're going to start out with Reach Out and Touch. And we invite people to sing if they know the words, or if they don't even care. So, so if you can sing, go ahead. If you can't sing, go ahead anyway.
Yeah, we've got the cheat words up there for everybody, so. I would like to play it. I'm not going to play on this song. It's too hard for me. John's going to do this all by himself. So I'm going to sit up here with him for the
Is Julie here? She's not. We had somebody who was supposed to give a personal story today, and she's not here yet. So I said I'd fill in, and I'm going to talk about Sunday Assembly because some of you are new, and some of you have heard this before. But Sunday Assembly started in London about 3.5 years ago by 2 comedians, which we find is very appropriate. This is also the inspiration room, I found out, which I think is very, very appropriate too. Anyway, so these, She's here. Julie, all right. Get yourself settled. I'm going to give you a little rundown on Sunday Assembly, and you can, okay? Anyway, so these two comedians were driving along, and they were going to a gig, and one of them said that she just got married, and this is Pippa Evans, and she said, I just got married, and but I had a problem because I'm an atheist, and I couldn't be married in church, but my mom wanted to be married, for me to be married in church, so she could wear the big hats in the front row and everything. And so she said, so I found a place where we could set it up like a church, and she could sit in the front row with her big hat. And she said, when we left, after we got married, we walked down the aisle to when I'm 64. And Sanderson Jones said, wow, that's brilliant. And he said, what if we started a church that had all the really great things that we love about church and got rid of some of the things we don't like God, for example. And so, anyway, they decided that hymns would be great, personal stories would be wonderful, poetry, and then some inspirational talks and some intellectual talks, because Sunday Assembly has a lot of science going for it. So they started Sunday Assembly in London, and they had about 300 people attend because it was London. And it has spread to about 7 or 8 countries, and we have quite a few of them here in the United States. Unfortunately, we are the only one in Florida, which is kind of a sad thing. Orlando is trying, and so we'll see what that goes. So anyway, let's hear from Julie Hill, because she's going to tell us how she came to Sunday Assembly herself.
Hi, good morning. I'm late, that's not unusual. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
My name is Julie, and I've been asked to talk a bit about what brings me to Sunday Assembly. Okay, so for many years I was a member of a fundamentalist Christian church, and I was content. It was good for me. But I started learning about other religions, not just Christian religions, but all other religions. And I was reading history, which crossed a lot of paths with mythology, and finally it began to occur to me that my myths and beliefs were no more valid than theirs. And so I quit the church. But there are things about being a member of a church that I miss, like the singing and the notion that you are part of an expanded family, and a place to give and receive help of comfort and a social life. And the truth is, a lot of churches are performing lots of good works, and I'm certain that these works can be done better by persons without conditions. And Helen Keller said that I long to accomplish a great and noble task, but it is my chief duty to accomplish small tasks as if they were great and noble. And I agree. And I'm excited to be here at the beginning of something that I foresee future generations will view as indispensable for their society, for their physical and mental health, to prosper and to share, to grow and learn, to laugh and play. And I appreciate all of you being here for me and providing me with the opportunity to be here for you. And we have a canoe at our house in Fort White and several nearby rivers, and we would like to share that with you. And we also have 4 kittens we would like to share out of our home. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Well done, Julie. That was great. And I love kittens, so we have 3 cats. Yeah, and 3 cats. And as some of you know, one of them is blind, and so it is quite a challenge to deal with this blind cat. So, I don't know. But David, I love you. We are going to now hear from, are we? Yeah. Oh, there she is. Okay. We're going to hear a poem by Leonard Peterson. Len Peterson, who was a dear friend and a wonderful poet. And so, let's hear who made the poem. Anne. Oh, there she is. I'm sorry, Anne. I couldn't find her. This is Anne Margolis. Anne is his widow. And so she's going to read a poem called Sailing the Ship I'm Given, which is a favorite. So, go ahead.
Okay, well, a little background. My husband died literally 2 years ago next month. He was an extremely talented man. He was a physicist at the University of Florida for 36 years. He was a musician, a poet. He gave many, many sermons. He went through past lives with a counselor in Sarasota. Has written about that. He comes from a Swedish background, parents who never went beyond one in the 6th grade, one in the 8th grade. But he was always taught independence and learning and the importance of an education. And he has 3 sons, one of which lives in Norway, who is the principal trumpet player for the Bergen Symphony, the Philharmonic. And this poem, I'll read this. His son's name is Gary. Gary, I see this as a song that is deliberate in style, with a gentle melody and with beautiful harmony. There are 3 verses. What do you think? If I say so myself, I think the lyrics are good. Small changes can be made to adapt to the musical score you compose. And he did compose music to this. I don't have it here with me. And it's called Sailing the Ship I'm Given. I do have some photographs, and I can pass them around. This is my husband. And one really cute thing he did, he loved playing the harmonica. And he also was talented enough to play the harmonica and put this strap around his back of his head, and play the, he played the accordion. And then he got this strap around the back of his neck, and he played the harmonica at the same time. So it was like, doing this. Anyway, this is verse 1. I turn to a world that I live in, learn to sail the ship I'm given, accept the weaker side of me, and focus on the strength I see. I am a child of the land, from mountains tall to ocean's sand, all nature in its grand design. I must take care of it, or it's not mine. With friends I've nurtured through the years, my help, my solace, treasured peers, and one I choose to share my soul, the one who helps me through my role. I must forgive who do me wrong, and trust it's not in their soul song. As well unkindness I have sown, I must accept wrong deeds I own. For life is not a perfect dream. It is an ever-flowing stream, with twists and turns, some oft unseen. I have a base on which I lean. And when my life has run its course, will I look back with some remorse? Or understand I made that road, and on it I carried my heavy load? Now, let me explain a little bit about heavy load. And it was a heavy load. He was diagnosed with cancer in '89, and it was behind the tonsil. In 2011, he got cancer again, and it was in the pharyngeal wall of the throat. And unfortunately, it had progressed so to the point where he could not swallow. And he was on a feeding tube for at least 4 years. And then he was unable to talk. And anyway, then he was on a trach, and he survived his life for 4 years, on 2 years of it being on a trach. Never could communicate. So I'm really honored to be able to share his life with you.
But he could communicate because I chatted with him just before he died, and he had a little pad that he would type into, and then he would chat with the pad as it when we were going in. Now, one of the things about Sunday Assembly is we try to do a moment of silence, and this gives you the opportunity to think about the poem that you just heard, or just one that you like. So let's have a moment of silence. Carol Willis is going to introduce our speaker.
Good morning. Peggy McDonald is the Executive Director of Gainesville's Matheson History Museum. She is a graduate of Gainesville High School and Hollins University in Roanoke, Virginia, and holds a PhD in history from the University of Florida. She was pursuing a graduate degree in education, and a professor encouraged her to switch to history because she was such a natural storyteller, and history really is storytelling. She has taught history at Stetson University, Florida Polytechnic University, Indian River State College, and the University of Florida. She is the author of Marjorie Harris Carr, Defender of Florida's Environment, which I highly recommend. She also writes for Senior Times, Our Town Magazine, and Gainesville Magazine. I am honored to introduce to you Dr. Peggy McDonald, speaking today about Dr. Sarah Robb.
Thank you so much. I wore my dress Birkenstocks today. I'm excited about that they're new. Actually, I've seen various light levels, and if the light level could be a little lower, it'd be nice for the pictures. Thank you. So, raise your hand if you've heard of Dr. Sarah Lucretia Robb. Wonderful. Well, you could also argue that Dr. Sarah Robb was Alachua County's first feminist. Why not? There's no way to say who was for sure. But to put her life in context, she was born in 1852 in New Jersey. Nobody's perfect. And this was a time when women's opportunities in life were limited, beyond the accepted roles of wife, mother, volunteer. This book that came out influenced women's professional abilities or discussions about them well into actually the early 20th century. This is Dr. Edward Clark. He's a physician, and he wrote a book that sounds progressive, Sex and Education, A Fair Chance for the Girls. What he argued in his book, which was so popular, went through multiple editions, was that higher education was bad for women's health. So the more girls and women think, exercise their brain, and they have intellectual discussions, and they read and they write, really the ovaries just shrivel up, you know, and the blood is removed, it's all going to the brain, so it's removed from the women's reproductive organs, and women become sterile. He argued, in fact, in his book that although he wasn't present at the autopsy, in one case, there was a case of death by college. So, of course, if you look at the bigger historical picture here, what's going on when you have people arguing against something, so against women going to college, is that, of course, women were going to college in greater numbers than ever. I went to women's college. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Carol. That was wonderful. But the women's college I went to opened in 1842, so
there were many women's colleges by this time. And so this is really a reaction against women already getting higher education. This is Sarah. You can see the fashionable black ribbon that was popular at the time. And Sarah was at first a nurse. She went to Hahnemann College. And Hahnemann was noted for its views of homeopathy. So looking at natural ways to treat illnesses beyond more contemporary views. And her background in homeopathy probably made her a really good companion for Dr. Robert Robb, who they fell in love and married on Valentine's Day in Illinois in 1872. Robert Robb in 1873, the same year that their first child together was born, Sarah Emily Robb. Robert was, he graduated from medical school, not medical school, I'm sorry, it was a special homeopathic medical school in 1873. So they had that in common, this alternate view of medicine. Well, Hahnemann was also the first women's college, women's medical college in the world. Opened its doors in 1850, 2 years before Sarah was born. Now, the standard line you read in Gainesville and you hear is that Sarah was a nurse and her husband just thought she was so brilliant and skilled that she'd make a good doctor. Well, we don't know because we don't have an oral history with Sarah Robb. There are histories with her daughter and other descendants. We don't know what motivated her to pursue a medical degree at this time when women were not expected to have professions or go to seek advanced degrees. But the fact that she got a nursing degree at Hahnemann, which was the first women's college in the world, women's medical college, means that she probably thought that she could do anything. So when the time came for her to go to medical school, rather than go to Hahnemann, and aside from that, her options were very limited in the United States because women were not welcome at those medical schools, she traveled to Heidelberg, Germany. And she, in addition to having her own baby with her husband, Robert, he was a widower, and he had 2 children who lived from the first marriage. The third one died in infancy. So she was caring for the 3. Robert went to Heidelberg with her while she was in medical school. And then they went back to the Midwest. Now, it's very common. One of the really troublesome diseases at the time was tuberculosis, and Robert got it. So he had heard, Gainesville actually promoted itself in the late 1800s as a haven, that the springs and the climate were good for health. So he read that Gainesville was a good place to recover from tuberculosis, and he moved here in 1882 alone, leaving his wife and children behind so that he could pursue a treatment, alternate treatments. This is, nowadays he'd be considered a hipster, right, with that beard. So he was a pretty boy. And so he came here alone, and in fact, if you consider that the late 1800s, this is when the United States was industrializing, and we had the really filthy, dirty industrial cities in the Northeast and the Midwest. So if you come down to Florida, the least populous state east of the Mississippi River, there wasn't all that pollution. We don't know why, but he did improve from his tuberculosis. And in 1884, Sarah and the children came and joined him. Does anyone want to take a guess at what Gainesville Springs is? There are only 2 springs in Gainesville, so you have a good chance of winning. Bulwer Springs. This is Bulwer Springs. And the other one is? Well, Glen Springs. So there's the Hoptown Creek, of course. So Bulwer Springs, this is a woman with a towel. She's going picnicking by the springs. If it weren't for Bulwer Springs, we would basically be Lake City. Because Gainesville and Lake City got into a heated battle over who would get to have the University of Florida. And Gainesville won because of the promise of free water from Bulwer Springs, which was the first source of Gainesville's drinking water. This is actually Green Cove Springs, closer to Jacksonville. But this is part of the water treatment that people came to Florida for. So the idea was that springs were healing, that there were healing properties, sulfur, different minerals inside the water, and that if you both drink it and take the waters by bathing in it, that you would be healed of anything from tuberculosis to syphilis. So imagine all the people with syphilis in the water together. Now, there's a fence here too. This was Senator segregated by gender. We wouldn't want anyone to see these scandalous bathing suits. Can anyone guess where this is? It's local.
Ocala.
I heard Paynes Prairie, yeah. So this is the Alachua Syndic Paynes Prairie. And again, you can see these beautiful black collars, chokers that women were wearing, just like in the Manet paintings, except they're wearing clothes. So this is a receipt for a donation to the Odd Fellows Home. Well, Robert Robb was so thrilled that he overcame tuberculosis that he decided other people should come to the area for the climate and get better. So he was one of the people instrumental in building the Odd Fellows Home. This is a receipt for a donation. And here's another picture. You can see it was at 640 Southeast 2nd Avenue. It was raised so that Southeast 2nd could extend to Waldo Road. So it's gone, like many beautiful historic buildings. In this one, you can see a woman who's probably a nurse in front. You can see Odd Fellows Home, Gainesville, Florida. So there were Odd Fellows homes around the nation. And essentially, just like the movie Field of Dreams, Robert Robb thought if you build it, they will come. But they didn't. So that's part of the reason why it was raised eventually as well. There just was never a good use. Not enough people came to recover from tuberculosis in Gainesville, Florida. At one point, Robert Robb offered the Odd Fellows Home to be an early hospital in Gainesville. But that didn't work because even with free rent, the doctors decided it was too expensive to pay on their own for medical equipment. Now, Robert and Sarah Robb and another doctor in the 1870s put out a book. There are multiple editions. The Robin Coe's Family Physician, a work on domestic medicine designed to show the causes, symptoms, and treatment of disease. And it's a wonderful compendium that's designed to provide good medical information and common sense to the average American reader and demystify medicine. It begins with a letter to mothers written by Sarah Robb. And in this, she argues, this is at a time where the Comstock law ruled the land, where if you mailed information about birth control, you would be put in jail. So the fact that a woman doctor is giving this advice is really scandalous for the day. She says, every mother should carefully study all that is said in regard to inertia in this work. This is a frightful, I'm sorry, this is going on and on. But she's essentially arguing women and teachers owe it to young girls to tell them the truth about their bodies. It's hard to read on here, but it's very hard to buy a copy of this book. You can see a copy if you go to the Robb House Medical Museum in Gainesville, and this is what it looks like. This is the house the Robbs lived in. They also had a very small clinic. They sometimes would take up to 2 people, no more, overnight when they treated people. It used to be on University Avenue, just west of the Gainesville Gospel Tabernacle, which later became the Melting Pot, which is now the Matheson Library and Archives. And now it's catty corner to First Presbyterian Church on Southwest 2nd Avenue. It's a wonderful museum. You have to call ahead of time, leave a message on an answering machine, and then someone will return your call to set up an appointment for a tour. So it's not, you don't just show up. You have to contact them in advance because it's also the headquarters of the Alachua County Medical Society. This is Sarah Robb, approximately 1900, with her horse Ben and horse and buggy, and she would travel around Alachua County delivering babies and tending to the sick. This is the interior of the building, and this is a companion of hers who she later actually willed the house to, and this is Sarah knitting. This is a ledger that shows the different homeopathic and conventional medicines. This is from between 1914 and 1918. And this is Florence Van Arnhem. So if you take a tour of the Robb House Medical Museum, she will be your guide. She's been a volunteer curator for over 30 years and has really kept the museum going. It's filled with interesting artifacts, particularly from Alachua General Hospital. This is an early operating lamp from Alachua General examination tables. There's an x-ray of a snake that poor thing swallowed 2 light bulbs. This is Alachua County Hospital, opened in 1928, Gainesville's first hospital. So before that, if you were seriously ill or injured, your best bet was to get on a train or car to Jacksonville or Tampa and you hope to be seen in a hospital. When this hospital opened in 1928, it really expanded options for modern medical care in Alachua County. Before that, there were houses where doctors would operate in a room that was not sterile. This is one that treated white patients, up to no more than a dozen. This treated African Americans. This is at 901 Northwest 3rd Avenue, and it's still there. It's been a rental property for decades. I actually spent my prom night inside there. No exciting details. This is the side of the house, and you can see it's unusual for such a small house to have so many windows, but it was a hospital. Because of course, under segregation, this is part of Gainesville's past that is not usually looked at. There's no historical marker, but there were separate hospitals. And African Americans were either turned away from white hospitals, or with Alachua General, they were placed near the basement to deliver or during surgery when there was no air conditioning. This tower went up in 1960. It was the first air-conditioned building. Sadly, in 2009, the decision was made to demolish Alachua General. The Shands CEO at the time, this is at the height of the recession, the way he explained it was that Shands had to focus on one set of buildings, either traditional Shands or Shands at AGH, and could not afford both. Shands assumed millions and millions of dollars of debt when it purchased AGH and projected that the debt would continue as a community hospital. It is interesting to know that how many new Shands hospitals go up every year? They're reproducing almost on their own now. But to close, if you'd like to see the Roths, they're at historic Evergreen Cemetery. The grave with the Caduceus, because both of them were doctors. And Dr. Sarah Roth died in 1937. Her husband died in 1902, and he was about a dozen years older than she was. But it is a fascinating history. She was not the first female doctor in Florida. Esther Hill Hotz was a Yankee who came down after the Civil War, and she treated patients and established a Freedmen's Bureau school at Port Orange, which was the first free African American community in Florida after the Civil War. We're not counting Fort Mosaic. And her school was actually burned to the ground when she went back north. So, but anyway, Sarah Roth, a wonderful history. Thank you for having me today.
If anybody has some questions for our speaker, ask away.
I've mesmerized you. Your brains can't work anymore. Yes.
Was there any resistance from the populace to having a woman doctor?
Oh, absolutely. I can remember, this is totally personal and off topic, but I remember my grandmother, who was wonderful, in the late 1990s, still thinking she'd rather go to a male doctor because she wouldn't trust a woman doctor. I said, well then why would people go to, my mother is a lawyer, why would people go to her? She's a woman. But in all seriousness, it was still rather rare to have women doctors. And the women's education, including women's education in medical schools, was always a contentious issue. And there were so-called experiments with co-education at the early places where women were welcome. At Princeton, a woman faculty member was not welcomed on board until 1969, full-time women faculty at Princeton. So it's not just women doctors, resistance to women in higher education until under Richard Nixon, Title IX made it illegal to discriminate. So I'll stop there, I'll keep rambling. Yes?
I think it's an odd fellow building.
There were the Oddfellows and Rebecca. So the Oddfellows were the males and the Rebecca, surprisingly, were the females. And the idea was to find a place to usually just recover from tuberculosis. That was the main purpose. But there was also it was a place almost like a brotherhood that there were Oddfellows homes around the nation. And it was popular elsewhere and it just didn't catch on here.
Why the word odd?
It is a good question. I spent a lot of time researching and really couldn't find a satisfactory answer. There's still an Oddfellows Society Association. You can look them up, but they don't explain that part. I guess they just think it's such a cool name. Why do we have to explain it? Other questions? All right, well, thank you again for having me.
As a school teacher, I've been to the Matheson Center with a class, and you can go. It's a great center with a wonderful history of Florida, or of Gainesville, and I think people don't realize the Matheson Center even exists. And so it's a wonderful place, and so go. You don't have to make an appointment though, do you? It's just-
No, we're open.
Yeah.
Check us out on our website and Facebook.
Yeah, Matheson Center, okay. All right, okay, we need money to keep going, and so, bluntly, and we do pay rent and other things. We also donate to organizations like St. Francis House and Grace Marketplace, and so your generosity is very appreciated. And during this time, we're going to be hearing another song. Again, I think you can sing along.
We've expanded the band for this song. This one's a bit on the obscure side, but because of the story, Dr. Rob's story and that sort of thing, it just seemed like a really appropriate song. So sometimes we'll dig out these dusty old songs that you may not know, but maybe you'll like it and say, oh, that's cool, thanks for turning us on to the song. And you go, that song sucks, please don't throw anything. Yeah, this is an awful It's yours. When you have my life, the kind when the stars ain't shining bright. When the candlelight of home comes a very long way, well, you gotta let your soul shine just like my daddy used to say, soul shine better than the sunshine, better than moonshine, damn sure better than rain. When your world seems cold, gotta let your spirit take control.
Dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were in Atlanta, there was dancing in Atlanta. We had a great time. And, we were there for about 4 days, and there was a lot of dancing in the conference on wonder that we went to. Let's see, any notes? Oh, inside of your order of assembly, I call it, there's a card. And if you want to keep in touch with us, please let us know and put your email address. Please print carefully. We have received some of these where we're like, what is this? So make sure that your name is clear and your email address is clear and your phone number if you'd like. On the back of the card, we would love to know if there's a speaker that you would like to hear, or if there's some information that you would like, or if there's a topic you would like to hear. So take the time to fill this out and just put it on the table, if you like. We'll go to the next slide. Okay. We're going to be marching in the Martin Luther King March tomorrow, and we'll be assembling around 12:45 near the clock tower near Longwoodley Plaza. And I have done this every year. One of the things I feel strongly about with this march is that we do not see enough white faces there. We need to have, he was our hero too. And so we need to understand that and know that his death is our loss just as much as it was African American loss. And we need to support them and they need to support us. And so I encourage you to come out and march with us. Next one. We have enough of it. Okay, I'll just, yes, all right. We do a brunch, which is kind of a lunch brunch, every first Sunday of the month at Jason's Deli. And there's lots of parking, and we have a room in the back. And so it's quite private, so if you're interested in coming on out, and if you sign up with us, you'll get something about that. So it's a really fun thing. We usually have about 12 or so people that attend. Next Sunday, the next Sunday assembly, our speaker will be Ken Meyer, who is going to be talking about how the birds are affected by our environment, and also how the environment, how important they are to the environment. There's an interesting little thing about him on our website, and it's on your program, so look it up and see what's going to happen. The following month, our speaker is going to be Hutch Hutchison, who's going to talk about how to become politically responsive in the current political climate. There is going to be another conference on wonder. It's going to be held in San Diego, California on the 18th to 21st of May. These conferences alternate between Europe and this continent. It could be in Canada someday, I'm hoping. And so if anybody's interested, find out more about it on our website or talk to me or anybody else who's going. I think you're going to go, Roxanne, is that right? So if you're interested in going to San Diego. And also we have lunch here every Sunday assembly, and this place turns magically into a lunchroom, just like you remember from grammar school. And so some of us have brought food and we're going to put it out here. And so stay for lunch if you can. Is there anything else that I've forgotten? Okay. We're going to close with a song, and while we're listening to the song, how do you think? We're good. Okay, we're going to close with the song, and afterwards, chat with us, stay for lunch, and find out more about us, okay? Go ahead.
This is a couple of songs that I put together, and interesting what Dan said, one was written by an African American, and the other song was written by a couple of Italian guys who lived in New York, and they were, in one of the songwriters in an interview said, growing up Italian in certain parts of town, I saw my parents suffer a lot of discrimination because of them, and I kind of grew up with a bit of an attitude towards it. And then when the 60s came along, I said, this song just kind of came out of me. So these are two songs that I've always felt kind of really dovetail very nicely. And, you know, one of the things that I've also noticed is that a lot of times when we have these, kind of tribute things where they get together, there's, you know, definitely was the African-American struggle, but I often sometimes feel like there wasn't enough recognition of what the non-African-Americans also did to help further the cause of freedom, because there were a lot of white folks that put their stuff on the line for that too. So this is kind of a juxtaposition of the two. And again, if you know it, please feel free to sing along. I was born by the river in a little town, just like a river I'm running just. It's been a long, long time. I know it ain't no harm. Oh, yes, it's been too hard living. I'm afraid to die. Don't know what's ahead beyond the sky. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know it ain't gonna come. Oh, yes, it is. There I go, my brother. I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking back down on my head. At the time I thought could last for long. Now I think I'm able. It's been a long time coming, but I know it ain't gonna come. Oh, yes, it is. All the world doesn't know we can see. People everywhere, there's harmony between. That's the way it should be. Peace in the night, people gotta be free. What a lovely, lovely world to be. If ever we want such an easy, easy thing to say.